Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of Marketing Troubleshooter. This time we're talking about an on-site power provider who wants to know how to get their social media working better for them. Here's an extract of the brief. We're splitting this one into several sections. We're a small, well-established business employing about 40 people. We're totally business to business. We don't sell any hardware that would be relevant or affordable for customers. We post regularly on LinkedIn. We use a lot of video. And although we've invested a lot of time and a fair amount of money into the project, we're not sure how to tell if it's successful. What's our next step? So the social media challenges we have to face are few followers and low interaction. The solutions we'll be discussing are when social media works, who it works for, and why it's not actually going to work in this instance. This is where we diverge from our normal case study approach, because we're going to be talking about what not to do. This plan won't work. And sometimes in business, it's as important to decide what not to do so you can concentrate on better things. Social media will never be a success for you. And let's define success broadly. You get more out of it than you put in. The most important way to measure that would be money, specifically profit. It's relatively easy for you to define how much you put into the project. It's your staff costs plus any agency costs you have. It's more difficult to work out what you get out of it, but I think you've already got a pretty good idea of what that is, and the numbers got 0 in it and not a lot else. We certainly won't define success as the number of likes and social reactions you get, because you can't put them in the bank. Let's look at why social media isn't working for you at the moment. Let's look at your performance. Last month you made 17 posts on LinkedIn. That's certainly the right platform for you, and 17 is considered a good number by advocates who value quantity. It's about 1 post per working day. From those posts you got 207 reactions, that's likes and things like that, which sounds good, but in fact it's only about 12 reactions per post, which doesn't sound so impressive. But it gets a bit worse. You've got your staff well organised to react to posts to bump up their visibility. The downside of that is that we've got to discount 78 of your reactions to posts because they come from your own people. So your average post gets only 8 external reactions. And then it gets a bit worse still, because if you look at the people who are reacting, it's the same people over and over again. Social media isn't exposing your brand to new people, and that's one of the main reasons you do it. But social media advocates always say that it's a long-term strategy. It takes time to build an audience. So, is your social media getting better over time? No. Let's look at this. You get nearly 8 reactions per post this year. For the same month last year, you got 14. So it's actually getting worse, not better. One bright spot is that you got 747 click-throughs from your 17 posts. The problem with click-throughs, or one of the problems, is that you can't tell who they come from. And there's another problem with your links. All of them seem to go to the same place, your homepage. If somebody clicked on the link in one of your posts about product X, they want to be taken to the page on your website about product X. They don't want to be dumped at the home page and left to find the product on its own. So, are we really saying that, contrary to all the prevailing marketing advice, that social media is a bust? No, we're not. But there do seem to be some very specific circumstances in which social media works, and let's deal with them in turn. Social media can work if you're already a big name. So Nike, Apple, utility companies, they all have big audiences. Unfortunately, that's not you. Social media also works if you're business to consumer. Social media platforms mainly support our personal lives, not our business lives. Unfortunately, that's not your products either. Social media can work if it just fits your business nicely. So if you have a business to consumer model where you can maintain all your consumer relationships online, social media works really well for you. I've had several conversations with a lovely lady who delivers online art training courses, and social media is fantastic for her because it's all visual and it supports her remote learning model. It's similar to, in a way, Mark Ritson's mini MBA course. But that's not your business model. Social media can work if people get passionate or enthusiastic about your product or service. If it's something related to tech or hobbies or sport or music or cinema or even politics. But that's not you either, unfortunately. Social media can work if you've got a team to generate and manage your content. I mean, look at On The Tools. It's a fantastic success. But they are a video production company and they've got teams to manage the social media. That's not you either. Social media can also work if you can monetize your content. Can you sell through social media? Unfortunately, you can't. And social media can work if you just have a slam dunk brilliant idea. If Harry Dry, for example, had been launching marketing examples in ancient Egypt and publishing it on papyrus scrolls, it would still be a success. It's a great idea. The fact he uses social media is not a testament to the power of social media. It's a testament to the power of what he's publishing. And it's also worth noting that Harry drives people towards his email marketing list. Again, unfortunately, this isn't your situation. So that's when social media can work. If you're looking for reasons why you shouldn't put too much focus on social media, well, if you don't fit into one of these categories, then those are 7 good reasons why you shouldn't put too much work into it. And there's another golden rule of business to consider. Don't build on somebody else's foundations. And that applies to your communication strategy as much as anything else. That's what you're doing if you rely too much on social media in your marketing strategy. The platforms could change completely and scupper your communications strategy. Look at them this way. There's continuing negative press about the impact of social media platforms on society and mental health, about their interference in political life, about their inability to police hate speech, about their lack of fact-checking, about their deliberate, accidental or careless reporting of metrics and advertising bills. They're also subject to the platform owners' own actions that might drive users away. For instance, putting more and more adverts on each platform and feeding us content we really don't want. And there's a chance of government interaction against a platform like TikTok nearly getting banned in America. And they're subject to user apathy because social media platforms are very affected by what's fashionable today. This all means that activity and interaction on any social media platform could drop off dramatically, and there's nothing you can do about it because you don't control it. If you base your communication strategy on social media, you're just asking to be kicked in the face. If you base communications on your own website, on your own email mailing list, you retain control. If you don't believe me, listen to Daniel Rolls and Kieran Rogers of the wonderful Digital Marketing Podcast. On December the 7th, they said, and I'm going to read this as a direct quote, Daniel said, "The problem is, whenever you have a community on a social platform, you're limited by the social platform changing things. In LinkedIn, you used to be able to message everybody in your group. They changed that. You lose control of your audience a little bit. So we're going back to email." And Kieran followed up with, "I have this theory that email is one of the best social channels going if it's done right. What's lovely about email is that it's a channel that you own. It's not owned by some billionaire in California." Does this mean that everybody should stop doing social media immediately? No. Remember our proximity to profit principle. To judge the priority you should give competing activities, assess how much profit could it generate? How likely is it to generate that profit? How soon will it generate that profit? And how difficult will it be to generate that profit? That'll lead you to a mixed strategy like ours. Most of our marketing activity is based around long-term brand building and account-based marketing, but social media is part of the mix. So, in summary, that may not have been the answer you were looking for. I'm pretty certain it wasn't. But it's an incredibly common problem. It does nobody any good for us to keep on repeating the same old mantras about what makes social media successful. Build it and they will come may have worked for Kevin Costner, but sorry, it's not going to work for you.